Urban legend. The abandoned subway station sighting. Have you ever felt a chill in the air? One that doesn't come from temperature, but from something else entirely. A whisper that doesn't echo. Footsteps that don't belong to anyone you can see. Tonight, we're descending below the surface. Beneath the noise, beneath the lights, beneath the safety of the living world. What lies beneath is a place most people have forgotten. But not everyone. This is the story of the abandoned subway station sighting. A legend whispered through generations of transit workers, late-night commuters, and those foolish enough to explore the tunnels that never should have been reopened. A place where time doesn't pass, it lingers, where the last train never comes, and something waits forever on the platform. The city above pulses with life, horns blaring, lights flashing, thousands of footsteps marking the rhythm of existence. But just a few stories below, silence reigns. Beneath the downtown grid of this unnamed metropolis lies Station 59, decommissioned in 1962 after what officials called a structural failure. The official records mention nothing unusual, just cracked supports, budget cuts, and an outdated ventilation system. But those who worked the line back then tell a different story. They speak of the night the train didn't stop. According to archived interviews from the early 1970s, a late-night express train was due to pass through Station 59 without halting. But on that fog-soaked evening, the signal light showed red an impossible error, since the line had already been deactivated. When engineers checked the feed, they saw movement, a shadow, pacing the platform. When security arrived 15 minutes later, the platform was empty, but the rail sensors indicated a full-weight carriage had been resting there moments earlier. No trains were scheduled. None were missing. The files were quietly sealed. The station was bricked off 2 years later. But that was only the beginning. The history of Station 59 is as murky as the tunnels themselves. Construction began in 1913, part of the city's first underground expansion. But workers immediately reported strange accidents. Tools vanishing overnight, voices echoing down sealed shafts, and, most disturbingly, the disappearance of an entire crew section during a cabin that was never officially logged. One old newspaper clipping, buried deep in the city archives, makes brief mention of a subterranean collapse claiming several lives. No names, no details. Just a single sentence between reports of war rations and mayoral speeches. Local historians later discovered that the ground beneath the site once housed a pauper cemetery. Relocated during the rapid industrial boom, but relocated in those days, didn't they always mean removed? It often meant built over. When the first trains ran, passengers began reporting that the lights flickered only when passing through Station 59. A conductor named Elias Porter wrote in his personal log, "Every night, the lights dim at the same spot. There's a reflection on the glass. A woman, standing on the platform. But the platform is empty." By 1937, engineers noted power surges near that section, though the equipment was perfectly fine. When maintenance teams entered to investigate, some refused to return. One electrician, Harold Venn, filed an incident report that would never make the public record. He wrote that during a routine inspection, he heard singing a faint, rhythmic hum echoing down the tunnel. When he followed it, the temperature dropped to nearly 20 degrees. His flashlight died instantly. He claimed he saw a figure on the tracks, waving slowly as if to warn him away. The figure, he said, had no face. Ben quit that same night. Over the decades, the legend of Station 59 grew. Urban explorers began sneaking into the tunnel networks, chasing rumors of the ghost train that sometimes roared through without headlights. One of the most famous encounters comes from a 1998 interview with a man named Carlos Reyes, a maintenance worker assigned to reroute old electrical lines. Reyes described descending into the sealed section of the tunnel alone. His job was simple: map out old conduits and verify there was no live current. He brought a lantern and a handheld radio for safety. "I was about halfway through when the static started," Reyes recalled. "The radio went from soft crackle to full-on feedback. I thought maybe the metal walls were messing with it, but then I heard it, a voice, a woman's. She was whispering something I couldn't make out, like she was right behind me." Reyes turned. His lantern flickered once, twice, then went out completely. "I don't scare easy," he said, "but I swear on my life, I felt someone brush past me. I could smell perfume, like lilacs, old, faded. I called out, "Who's there?" But my voice didn't echo. It just stopped. When the lights came back, his radio was gone. Weeks later, his supervisor found it wedged into a crevice near the blocked entrance to Station 59. Battery had corroded years beyond its shelf life. Yet the digital timestamp on the recorder showed it had been turned on 2 days after Reyes' shift. He never returned underground. Then there's the story of the commuter sighting in 2007. A woman named Angela Morris boarded a late-night train heading east. She worked the night shift at a hospital and always took the 145 route. That night, as the train rattled past the sealed section between 58th and 60th, she saw through the window a platform that shouldn't exist. There were people standing there, she said, but they weren't moving. Just silhouettes, completely still. And the light. It wasn't from the train. It was from somewhere below them. It made their shadows stretch up the walls. Other passengers on the same train later confirmed they saw the same thing. A faint glow, figures unmoving. Transit authorities dismissed it as optical distortion caused by reflection. But a few nights later, the train's onboard cameras caught a single frame, a dark tunnel, and at its end, a figure in a conductor's uniform, waving. The uniform matched those worn by employees prior to 1930. And then there's the viral video, the one uploaded in 2015 by a group of explorers who called themselves the Deep Line. Their channel was known for urban spelunking, old factories, forgotten hotels, storm drains. Their final upload showed them entering what they called Station 59 access shaft. The video was grainy, unstable, the audio filled with the hum of subway air pressure. At 3:17 in, one of the team members said, "Do you hear that? It is like a train." No scheduled trains were running on that line. The camera panned toward the tracks, where 2 faint lights appeared in the distance. They grew brighter, were seen closer until the entire frame was white noise. The video ended there. The channel has never been updated since. Authorities later denied any knowledge of explorers accessing restricted areas. But 2 months later, city maintenance crews discovered a set of footprints near the sealed tunnel entrance, small, muddy, and facing toward the wall. Of course, not everyone believes in ghosts. Skeptics argue there are reasonable explanations for the Station 59 sightings. Subway tunnels are natural echo chambers. Sound can bounce unpredictably, creating phantom voices and footsteps. Old electrical wiring and metal debris can distort electromagnetic fields, interfering with lights and equipment. Even air pressure changes from nearby trains can cause sudden temperature drops or door slams. Psychologists suggest that the power of suggestion plays a massive role. If someone tells you a place is haunted, your brain becomes hypervigilant, interpreting every noise or flicker as supernatural. It's called pareidoia, the tendency to see patterns where none exists. And yet, the consistency of the accounts is hard to ignore. The same descriptions surfaced decade after decade. A woman on the platform, the smell of lilacs, the sound of a train that never stops. Perhaps psychologists studying the legend propose that residual hauntings may explain it, not intelligent ghosts, but energy imprints repeating an emotional moment in time, like a film loop burned into the environment. Some go further, suggesting Station 59 could be a liminal zone, a place where electromagnetic and geological conditions distort reality just enough to let other frequencies bleed through. One expert in underground acoustics, Dr. Elena Ward, offered a chilling hypothesis. If you think of the Earth as a giant recording device, constantly absorbing and replaying vibrations, then a site like Station 59, steeped in tragedy and resonance, could, in theory, play back echoes of the past. What if what people are seeing isn't a ghost, but a memory that never stopped repeating? Still, no definitive proof has ever been found. Every investigation ends the same way. Corrupted footage, dead batteries, and silence. So why does the legend persist? Maybe it's because the abandoned station represents everything that unsettles us about the modern world. Progress built on forgotten foundations. Lives erased beneath convenience and concrete. Maybe it's because, deep down, We all fear what might happen when we stop looking. In recent years, paranormal investigators, youth, and independent researchers have all tried to document Station 59. Some claim to have captured faint figures on thermal cameras. Others have recorded whispered fragments, a name, a song, a warning. The city denies access, but that only fuels curiosity. The legend thrives online, where forums are filled with theories that the train to Station 59 only appears at 3:17 a.m., that boarding it means never coming back, that the woman on the platform isn't a ghost at all, but a conductor waiting for her last passenger. Urban legends endure because they give shape to our unease. They remind us that even in a world mapped by satellites and sensors, there are still blank spaces, still shadows that defy explanation. And maybe, just maybe, those shadows are looking back. Closing monologue. The unanswered question. So, what do you believe? Is Station 59 just a story born of echoing tunnels and imagination? Or is it proof that some places never stop moving even after the trains have stopped running? When you ride the subway tonight, look out the window as you pass the dark stretches between stations. You might see a reflection that doesn't match your own. You might hear the faint hum of an engine from nowhere. And if you ever feel a breeze, soft and cold, brushing the back of your neck, don't turn around, because down there, beneath the city's heartbeats and neon veins, someone or something is still waiting for the next train, and it's not stopping for you.